Behold the brittle edifice of justice in a nation adrift, where the scales tip not by truth, but by the whims of the powerful and the fashionable. Here we are, at the close of 2025, gazing upon a Britain that once stood as a beacon of impartial law, now reduced to a stage for selective mercy and selective fury. A land where words are weapons, wielded lethally against some, brushed aside and deemed worthy of redemption by the elite for those others. Take Lucy Connolly, a devoted mother, carer of children, shattered by the unspeakable horror of Southport's tragedy. In a moment of raw, anguished fury, felt by most people, she did what many did, posted a singular tweet, intemperate, born of grief, calling for mass deportation, and I don't care what happens. That's it. Venting rage on the asylum situation and what it's become. She deleted it swiftly, apologised profusely, incited no violence, harmed no one. Yet the state crushed her. 31 months in prison for stirring racial hatred, a sentence that saw her serve over a year behind bars before automatic release. The courts upheld it. The Prime Minister defended the independence of justice. A British woman venting despair in extremis, entombed for mere words. Now contrast this with Alaa Abd El-Fattah, a man whose tenuous claim to British soil rests on a grandmother's birthplace, who spent no time here before his activism abroad. He was released from Egyptian prisons after years of cross-party campaigning. He arrives here in London just days ago to the Prime Minister's delighted welcome. We're delighted to have Alaa back in the UK and reunited with his loved one. Back? When was he here? Now, celebrities and ideologues cheered for his cause for years. But then the shadows emerge, old posts, videos from over a decade ago, when he was in his late 20s or 30s, calls to violence against Zionists, the police, and expressions of deep, violent hatred towards white people. He was in prison for 6-7 years. That's the only reason these posts stopped. Abhorrent, the government now concedes, finally. After the backlash, though, he apologises unequivocally for the shocking and hurtful ones, but claims others were twisted, agreeing with media-set narratives that the Jews were involved. Maybe they worked his fingers or did a mind implant. The Tories demand deportation, citizenship revocation. Jewish leaders decry the effusive embrace, yet no swift justice descends. No charges, no prison cell for historic hate that targeted entire races and faiths and colours. Why the warmth for one whose venom flowed towards Jews, whites, the police themselves, while a grieving mother's fleeting outburst earns years in chains? Is forgiveness reserved for the foreign dissident with glamorous allies, while native pain is punished without relent? One set of words incites hatred and the other destroys a life. Another, far darker, is excused as youthful folly or prison-silenced reform. Nonsense. This is no mere anomaly. It is the symptom of a deeper rot. A country turned global doormat. Its sovereignty diluted. Its people second class in their own home. We slip in the league tables, GDP per capita, stagnant and sliding. Overtaken by nations once far behind us as Labour's policies squeeze growth, hike taxes and stall ambition. The engine splutters, anemic expansion. Rising inactivity, jobs shed in low-wage sectors, I should know, amid automation and cost pressures. We are no longer the world's envy, but it's a cautionary tale. A laughing stock where leaders prioritise virtue signals over vitality. The government? A disgrace. Treasonous in its neglect of the British spirit, the British people. They erode democracy incrementally, crush dissent unevenly, drive the nation downward, while welcoming controversy with open arms. This hypocrisy, this inversion of justice, this surrender of our pride, it cannot stand much longer. We must awaken nationally, hold them to account, more so in the local elections. Not far from now, some of us are still able, 2026. While they still permit us to have a voice, rise and reject this farce. For if we do not stop them now, what remains of Britain will be lost forever to the tides of selective outrage and surrender. The hour is late, but the fight is still ours.